A predatory sea snail could be the source of a mystery ingredient in a holy incense recipe detailed in the Old Testament. Murex whelks were just one of many suspected sources, but there was no evidence to support the claim. Until now. In a paper published today, my colleagues and I report how we captured and analyzed the fragrant chemicals in the smoke of whelk opercula, the trapdoor lid that protects the snail inside the shell. This provides evidence to help establish it as the most likely source of oicha, one of 4 major ingredients that make up holy incense. The ingredients are detailed in Exodus 30:34, where Moses is tasked with making incense. Read more. Did they mean to do that? Accident and intent in an octopus's garden. The origin of 3 of the ingredients are well-known essential oils or resins of botanical origin. But the oicha of antiquity had not been identified with certainty, and there was much controversy over its proposed animal versus plant origin. What is that smell? Defined as fingernail or claw, oicha is a Greek translation from the original Hebrew word shechilet, which derives from a tear, distillation or exudatio. Whelk opercula are a protein exudatio, similar to fingernails, and have to be torn from the flesh before further processing. Ancient texts refer to Eugiodoritus, sweet hoof, as the shell or scale of snails from the Red Sea that emit a pleasant smell when burned. But shells, and opercula, do not smell nice when burned. So after detaching the opercula from the flesh of the snail, it has to be processed. Ancient and modern practices include rubbing with alkaline solution or soaking in vinegar followed by strong wine, before burning the dried ground powder. In our experiments, we replicated these procedures using clean acetic acid and alcohol. This helped remove the fishy smell from the opercula before drying and grinding into a powder for chemical analysis. We found that this pre-cleaning treatment was also important for removing pyridite, a toxic compound, from the opercula smoke. The main argument against the identification of sea snail opercula as the oicha of antiquity is that creatures such these were described as unclean animals in the Bible. Even their carcasses were considered unclean or an abomination, depending of your translation of Leviticus 11:9-12. But one particular group of sea snails, the Muricidae or Murex, were highly regarded as a source of Tyria purple, shellfish purple, and tekhelet, biblical blue. In biblical times, these shellfish were the only known source of an insoluble purple dye. The incorporation of purple and blue dyed yarn is prescribed for use in the tabernacle and garments worn by high priests, Exodus 26 and 28. This indicates that the spiritual leaders of the time were not opposed to using products from these sea snails for holy purposes. The lost knowledge it is likely the specific ingredients and process for making sacred incense was a closely guarded secret. The scriptures dictate that its use was purely for holy purposes. It was not to be made for personal use, at the risk of being cut off from the entire community.